what we intend to do here is to tell the public and then our esteemed members and then general public that nothing substantially has changed. All of the decisions that have come out from the various high courts, courts of coordinate jurisdiction, I think will be settled until we get to the Supreme Court. But what's fundamental is that the judgment of Peter Lifu today on the Federal High Court is not final, and then has not changed substantially the position of the Universal House of Assembly with respect to the leadership of the Universal House of Assembly, as far as the APP is concerned. And that's why we went to court. We hold the view strongly, even up to now, that there are vacant positions in the Universal House of Assembly, and then those positions need to be filled. And then it's our knowledge that there are 3 members that are left, and then there is a speaker in that regard, in the person of Right Honorable Victor Kojombo. This is our knowledge, and I think it's the public knowledge. What's emphatic to the party is that those vacant positions have to be filled, and then as a party, that we have a right to take part in the elections that we are calling Inec to conduct. And that's why we approach the court. But a number of other issues that arose with respect to whether the matter is a pre-action matter, which of course we didn't feel that, but it's the decision of the court to that effect that is a pre-action matter, so that those who are celebrating thinking that we never approached the court properly. The APP was held by the court to have locus. We have a right, and then the locus to file a suit, meaning the right to file a suit. That was appropriate, and the court agreed with us in that regard. And whether the court in its wisdom felt that was a pre-election matter, and that's how it got to say we probably were out of time. But we've got the judgment. I think we're going to review that, and then we'll get that proper review when the enrolled orders are out. We'll be taking the appropriate step that I think we would agree to take. But what's also further fundamental is to state that all of these issues about the Universal House of Assembly and the leadership of the Universal House of Assembly and the various decisions that are in court, including Justice Wale's decision that restrained the estranged former members of the Universal House of Assembly from interfering with the activities and proceedings of the Universal House of Assembly is a judgment of the courts. And then that judgment is even on appeal. I think we understand what the Supreme Court is until that appeal is determined. These matters are still very ripe. And then, of course, again, even when they relied on Justice Omotosho's judgment, and including an interdictory injunction by Okorowo, those matters are not matters that actually are directly connected or related to the reason that the APP went to court. Because we never approached the court to ask the court to declare illicit vacant. It's our position that as a responsible party, and then having the duty and obligation to uphold the provisions of the Constitution and ensure that every authority and every person in this country defend the Constitution. So we felt that we needed to take the step that we took. And then that step it remains our candid position. So Justice Omotosho's decision is also important to tell the public that it's on appeal. As a matter of fact, there are even 2 appeals against that decision. So the Court of Appeal is there to determine those appeals. There's a principal appeal, and there's even a cross appeal by those who even appear to take advantage of that decision and then claim that it's in their favor. And then if you also would look at the decision of Peter Lifu today, relying on those 2 previous decisions. These are all courts of coordinate jurisdiction, and I think that we still are within our own rights to consider the decision of the court today and then see what we will do. But what's fundamental here is to emphasize that as far as we are concerned, yes, the judgment of the court, we remain abiding by decisions of court as a responsible political party. And then, but it hasn't substantially changed anything, because there are still a number of matters subsisting, even in high courts, with respect to all of these matters, and then at the Court of Appeal and at the Supreme Court. So nobody, and there was even no declaration to a clear position by Justice Peter Lifu to the effect that those who have defected have not ceased to be members of the Universal House of Assembly. He relied on the judgments of his brother judges. But those are judgments that are even subjects that are before the appeals. And then, like I said, if we are to consider all the judgments, including the judgment of Justice Wale, which in itself it remains a valid judgment until it is overturned, and the restraining order that is even made, then I think our position is clear. So, gentlemen of the press, it's important that we join, including the media, to direct these facts in the appropriate ways that they really are, and then dissuade the public from misconstruing and misinterpreting decisions of court, particularly in areas that suit them. So for our members, our esteemed members, we enjoin you, and even the generality of the entirety of Rivers indigenous and residents here, there's nothing to worry about. I think that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, at the end of the day, will become the pointer of all of this. The Constitution is supreme, and it is the ground norm, and every citizen, every authority has a responsibility to ensure that it is being protected, and then it's been upheld, including judges, of course. I've made my points in several interventions that authorities will include the judiciary, will include judges, will include even the presidency, and everybody has a fundamental responsibility to protect the provisions of the Constitution. Even in interpreting provisions of the Constitution, it should be interpreted in a manner that is to protect and uphold the provisions of the Constitution. That has remained the position of the Action People's Party. And thank you so very much for being with us this evening, and I think that's our message for you now.